Avengers! Assemble.
Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. It's the Preventers here, guys. Welcome back to another Marvel Future 5 video. Today we're going through the 10/17 patch details, so the Halloween update patch details or patch notes. The update is now live, so make sure to go check it out in game. I unfortunately did not have any time to make this video before the update came out, but I thought I'd still give it to you here, and we're gonna try and get our update video as fast as possible to you guys, but it all depends on how available we are. So let's dive right in. Let's get straight on into this so you can watch this and then go straight into game to check it out. So of course, getting two exclusive to only during Halloween, during the month of Halloween, during October, uniforms in Ghost Rider and Sin, of course. So let's go ahead and check out the uniforms and see what it is all about. So his Ghost Rider's uniform, Rage Returned, is what it's called. This is what the update is called. It's called the Halloween Rage Returned update. He will be a full crystal cost uniform for 1,750 crystals. So just like Black Bolt, he will not be on sale ever again until next year in October. And he will not be discounted. So he stays a universal superhero. He still keeps the abilities of leadership and flame and all that great stuff. So uniform effect is going to have increased chain hit damage, stays pretty much the same. His passive also stays pretty much the same. Increased basic damage dealt to supervillains by 120%. Increased skill damage by 30%. Increased bonus damage by 25%. And decreased basic damage by 30%. So this initial one, increased basic damage to supervillains, still screams a lot of PvE. I'm going to highlight all the PvE and PvP skills that he has because, I'll tell you now, on paper, he does look like he will be a hybrid. We'll have to wait and see how that applies in game because obviously paper doesn't always tell you everything. But at the moment, that is what he sort of looks like. All right, so let's get into it. His passive is 90% chance to become immune to fire damage and increase fire damage, of course. He has 5 skills, of course. His first skill being called Chain Strike. It's going to have a cooldown of 10 seconds. It's going to have burn and it's going to deal 20% additional fire damage every 1 second. He's going to have stun and then some fire damage along with some energy attack. His second skill is going to have a moving V-pad, which is awesome. You know, I love V-pads, and that makes him be pretty good in certain game modes. V-pads are very nice in ABX, ABL, all that great stuff. He's going to have burn, snare, and silence. And then applying to himself, he's going to have super armor and fire damage. That skill is, of course, going to be called Rider's Run, and it's going to be on a 13-second cooldown. On his third skill here, he's going to have a skill called Chain Throw. It's going to have a 15-second cooldown. He's going to have Burn, Snare, Paralysis. He's going to have a 30% heal, increase all basic attack and defense by 25%. He's going to have a 100% chance to grant all damage and fire damage. Then we get interesting. We have a fourth skill here called Hellfire Chainsaw. He's got 17-second cooldown. He enables attacking a target that has the ignore targeting effect. So he's going to be able to do these more often when he attacks ignore targeting effects. He has burn, stun, incapacitation, paralysis, and then applying to himself, he has a 100% chance to penetrate super armor, invincible, super armor, and then it says acquires the following effect for 0.1 seconds. Activation rate when attacking supervillain types. He applies to himself increased basic damage dealt by 150% on a cooldown for 7 seconds, which is pretty interesting here. Sorry about that. So that means is when he attacks supervillains, he's going to basically have another sort of proc kind of going for him that's going to increase his damage by 150%. So that's pretty nice. And then he has a 40% fire damage and energy damage. Then on his fifth skill here called Penance Roar, he's going to have the 18-second cooldown. He's going to have Burn, Snare, a 10% decrease of fire resistance, paralysis, decrease all basic defenses. And then applying himself, he's going to have invincible, increase all basic attacks by 20%, and fire damage by 60%. So yeah, majority of it still looks like PvE, and it looks like he'll be really good for ABX. We'll have to wait and see about ABL because that's always sort of a toss-up. 30% heal is nice considering before one of his problems was healing. He couldn't really do that all the time. And let's see here, paralysis. Yep, so that's all good. Burn, of course, for ABX, and then some invincibility. So that's all nice. Then Sin here, and I'll tell you guys, obviously, my opinions on both characters after we go through them. She's going to be a paywall character, so you have to pay to get 30 tokens to be able to buy her uniform. Obviously, you can wait for the check-in that we get, where we get 10 free tokens at the very end. So you spend less money and only have to buy 20 tokens. She's going to be a speed supervillain with Weapon Master and Evil tags. On her uniform effect, she's going to have increased chain hit damage and increased guaranteed dodge. On her tier 2 passive, this is really important, she's going to have a support that applies to supervillain allies that increases basic damage dealt to boss types by 55%. So that's pretty huge for her. On her other passive, she can have a 30% increase of physical attack and decrease basic damage received by 25% to herself. Her first skill here is going to be called Sharpshooter. It's going to have a 9-second cooldown. She's going to have stun, paralysis, and physical damage. On her second skill, it's going to be called Skull Grenade. It's going to be a 9-second cooldown with burn, silence, and physical damage. So pretty bland on those first two, kind of repeat, but it's all good. Our third skill is going to be Aim and Fire. It's going to have a 15-second cooldown. It's going to have Burn, Stun, and then a 100% chance to grant all damage immunity and some physical damage. On our fourth skill here, she's going to have Burn, Silence, and then applying to herself, she's going to have Invincible, increase all basic attacks and some physical damage. It's going to be called Hydra Assault with a 15-second cooldown. On her fifth skill here, it's going to be called Skull Sniper with a 15-second cooldown. It's going to be applying to enemies. It's going to be Burn, Stun, and Silence. And then herself, she's going to have a 30% heal, increase all basic attacks, and physical damage. Then for Ghost Rider's Tier 4, yes, he's going to Tier 4 now, obviously, if you didn't already know that. It's going to be called Endless Burn. He's going to have a 20% heal, which is really good. Obviously, like I said, one of his major flaws back at his old uniform and his old kit was that he died a lot and he didn't have many heals. Now he has that 30% heal and, of course, 20% heal on the Tier 4. He's going to have increased all resistance by 80%, which is an interesting sort of PvP stat there. He's going to have increased flame damage by 50% of flame resistance, so that's pretty good for him. Obviously, that's going to boost up his damage a lot. Then Sin here gets her Tier 3 advancement. Her skill effects are going to be Burn and Stun, and then she's going to have Ignore Target Dodge, 80% chance to penetrate with Super Armor, Invincible, Accumulation, which is good, and then a 1% increase of all basic attacks. And that, of course, is what her Tier 3 skill is going to look like there with all of these minions and stuff shooting like crazy, which is pretty cool. We're going to have two new artifacts here, obviously, for both of these characters. And this is where things get really interesting for Ghost Rider, where it spices it up a lot. So the artifact's name is going to be Endless Vengeance. Obviously, you need Ghost Rider to activate this effect, but what he's going to have is when his HP is below 5%, he's going to have Guard Break immunity, HP will not drop below 1%, and he's going to recover 50% of HP after the effect ends. And he's going to recover additional HP equal to 0.5% of total instinct on a cooldown of 180 seconds. So, if you don't already know, that is the Undead passive artifact. So the same one that Carnage has, the same one that Wolverine has, the same one that Sabretooth has, the same one that Sinister Six, where basically they almost have like a second life because their HP is going to drop all the way to 1, but it's going to stay there and they won't die unless the 7 seconds obviously end up. And then they'll heal automatically right after that if the time stays there. Obviously, the time here at the end that says 7 seconds, that's going to vary depending on which type of artifact you have, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, 6-star. It's going to all vary. But yeah, that makes it interesting because that makes him look very hybrid now. It looks like he could be a PvP and PvE character. He kind of gives me the vibe that he might end up being a Carnage 2.0, which honestly would be really good for us, especially as a Universal, because then maybe he could be what Carnage wasn't, where he is a hybrid, but he doesn't have any super big flaws. We'll have to wait and see, obviously. This is just on paper. We'll see. Then Sin here gets an artifact that applies to supervillain allies. It's going to increase basic damage dealt to superheroes and increase basic damage dealt to super villains. So she's looking like an all-out support for those supervillain allies. That's pretty cool. We have a couple game error fixes, nothing too major to really talk about. So let me give you my quick overview on both these characters. So on paper, Ghost Rider, like I said, looks great. He looks like he's going to be a PvP, PvE hybrid. I think in PvE, it's going to matter a lot that if his tier 3 and tier 4 builds up fast, just like Jean Grey, that I think he'll be pretty much all set in PvE. And PvP, we'll have to wait and see. It's a really hard sort of category to get into unless the character's full PvE or PvP. It's going to be hard to see how he does against these other meta-defining characters like Adam and even Jean. It's going to be a true test to him, but I'm honestly here for it, and I can't wait to see if he can get into both. That'd be great. He looks like he's obviously going to take over ABX from Black Bolt. The question is, will he take over an ABL? I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. That V-Pad will definitely help him out, though. So yeah, that's my overview thoughts on him just off the patch notes. We're going to have review videos for him, of course, coming out very soon. We already went ahead and bought his uniform. Sin looks like a Black Cat basically support, on par, the same. It's just their artifacts that are different. Black Cat's is a little bit better, so we'll have to wait and see. But she does seem really good. And honestly, they're both paywall, so if you don't have one, then you might as well get the other. If you don't have Black Cat and you want to support for her supervillains, then I would get her. And let's say you don't get her, then I'd get Black Cat when she's on sale. Yeah, it's kind of a one-on-one thing. But we'll have to wait and see if she is indeed better or the exact same. And so, yeah, that's pretty much the patch notes. The only other things that we really got to talk about here are a couple events that are going on. And I actually have to find these ones that I want to talk to you about. We, of course, have a shop going on right now where you can collect revenge tokens. Obviously, like I said, you get 10 free, and then you need 20 to get Sin. They have some armor here for Thanos, Obsidian armor, Helm of the King, and Obsidian blade. And then the chest, of course, hold these items that you can get. Now, I'm not sure still what you can do with the Thanos armor. I honestly haven't looked into everything here too much, and I didn't see anything about what it's used for. It says people are saying archive event, but I honestly checked the archive and I haven't seen anything yet. So maybe it'll be added in once the check-in for the 10 free tokens are added, because I honestly haven't seen anything, but it's going to be interesting to see what the reward is that we get. That'll be nice. Obviously, Black Bolt's uniform is back, so if you do want to pick him up, and Morgan Le Fay is going to be back, obviously for a limited time. All uniforms are 40% off, which is really nice. We have a bunch of character growth events. Here's the check-in that I'm talking about. It'll start Wednesday at 3, what is this, UTS, and then at 8 here Pacific, so 11 p.m. Eastern. And then here it is. Okay, so for the archive event with both of all 3 of Thanos' stuff, where you get these in Dimension Mission, a Rage Return Token Shop, obviously Dispatch, Rage Return Token Shop Story, and then Rage Return Token Shop. So it looks like we'll have to get more than one of these. And these are the rewards that it goes. 20% we get Instinct Defense increased by 5,000. 40% we get Dimension Chest 3-star Artifact, which is nice. 60% we get additional 5,000 Instinct, which is nice. 80% of the way down we get Odin's Blessing Chest. And 100% we get a premium card. So that's awesome. That's definitely given me the like here on this. Oh, we already hit that. Never mind. So I guess I didn't read it in depth when I was looking through this. But that's awesome. We get a free premium card with the archive event, and all we got to do is just play Dimension Mission, Dispatch, and Story, and then pick up the 10 free that we already get. So I'm assuming you're going to need 10 of these, 10 of these, 10 of these. It's usually how it works out, and you already get 10 free, so that should knock off one for you, so that'll be nice. Make sure to keep in mind, in Dispatch, when you're farming, you have to be using energy to get those items. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, for the patch notes. I hope you guys enjoyed my breakdown today. Go enjoy the new update. We'll try and have a video out for you guys the next 12 hours on the update. We'll see if we can get that done for you. It depends on, like I said, if we're available. But yeah, that'll do it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, as always, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.